Welcome back, Guardians. Shadow here. And on today's episode of D.T.R, we're going to go over the weekly weapon reset. This will be the final episode for Destiny 1, since Destiny 2 is one day away. I'm so stoked. It's so exciting that finally the game's here. But this will be the very last episode for Destiny 1 until Destiny 2 comes out. And I'll be trying to put out as much content as I can for Destiny 2. Now, let's take a look at what Executor Hideo has brought us for this week. So, for this week, we have the Free Will 3. It comes with Firefly, Small Bore, Triple Tap, Armor-Piercing Rounds, Quick Draw, True Shot IS, and Sure Shot IS. This is a good, fun, and a unique weapon. PvE, great Firefly. You can use Triple Tap in conjunction with the Armor-Piercing Rounds, so that you can get as high as a range as you can, and you can stack that triple tap to get more damage out. With that said, small bore can be good for PvP. I think it'll only take one bullet from the magazine. You can use that in conjunction with armor-piercing rounds to give you a little bit more range, and quick draw if you want to have that snappy reflex. I prefer True Sight IS just because it gives you stability and gives you aim assist, versus this one just gives you more aim assist but not the stability. So let's go take a look at the other weapon. The other weapon I will recommend for this week to pick up is the First Citizen. It is so close to the role that I say to get every time, which is counterbalance, but instead it has persistence. But you can take advantage of persistence because of the high fire rate. Hammer Forge you do not need. Feeding Frenzy is good for PvE because you can reload insanely quick, 120% bonus reload speed. And with 77 bullets, you'll be just putting lead down range so much. And for PvE, you have high caliber rounds. Great for staggering. You can use it for PvP as well. But if you want to just use Snapshot for PvP, you're more than welcome to. It's a very versatile weapon. Now, I would personally use Smart Drift Control. Yes, you're losing some range, but the consistency of the predictable recoil is a lot easier to control in conjunction with persistence. So, let's take a look at what the Crucible Quartermaster brought us this week. We are here with our good old friend Archie. Now, we don't know if he's going to make it over into Destiny 2, but goodbye, old friend. You've given me plenty of weapons over the years, but let's see what he has for this week. This week, the Hero Formula. Fast Fire Rate Scout Rifle. I'm not a particular fan of Third Eye, but it comes with Braced Frame, Zen Moment, and Icarus, with a significantly improved handling sight with the MD Reflex. If you want a fast trigger finger scout rifle with max stability, the magazine will go down to 15. It is still very usable. This is why I'm mentioning it in this video. Now for the next weapon, we have the 44 Curtain Call. This is what you would call the God roll. You have full auto, you have rifle barrel, and you have replenish. You couldn't ask for anything else. You have the highest range barrel, linear compensator. The other barrels do not give you anything else except for stability. But I would say if you want to use it for PvE, use soft ballistics so it's easier to control the recoil. But if you're going for PvP, use linear compensator. Replenish gives you 4 bullets back in the magazine, max range, and quick fire rate for the shotgun. Highly recommend picking up this shotgun for this week. Now, the Event Horizon is a PvE sniper rifle. Right now, you have Firefly, you have Perfect Balance, and you have Army of One. Plus, you can use Short Gaze. Really good PvE weapon, if I do say so myself. So, we do have the Chaotic Neutral. Comes with Hidden Hand, Perfect Balance, Rifle Barrel, Life Support, Hip Fire, with the Soft Ballistic perk. The damage or the impact loss isn't severe. It's still going to take you the same amount of hits, so it's not really, you're not going to notice much of a difference when you use soft ballistics. But if you use that in conjunction, you can have the extra stability bonus with the extra range, and now all of a sudden with Hidden Hand, you have a really sticky long range LMG that's very easy to control. And if you want, you can use life support, so you can have a chance to regen your health. It's a really good PvE and PvP gun because you don't lose out on your magazine size. Highly recommend picking that one up as well. Now we have the Something Wicked. Comes with tracking, quick draw, javelin, grenader, life support, and soft launch. Pretty much here, this is what you want. Everyone's going to say aggressive for maximum blast radius, but you know, that little bit of range from this from hard launch to soft launch, you know, I'd rather get the bullet down, the rocket down quicker on the enemy. So with that, I would use soft launch. I would use javelin, so you have the max velocity you can get on this rocket launcher, and it'll just decimate in Crucible and in PvE. Highly recommend it with tracking. Really good rocket launcher. So let's go over to Dead Orbit and see what they have for us this week. So we're here with Jalal. Now I believe he is going to be returning in Destiny 2. But for the rest of Destiny 1, let's take a look at what his inventory has for this week. We have the Extremophile 011. Comes with Counterbalance, Hammer Forge, Hot Swap, Extended Mag, Snapshot, Red Dot, ORA, and Sure Shot IS. If this was perfect balance, this would be such a good role for send-off for Destiny 1. But it's still really good. You have Counterbalance, really easy to control recoil, improved range, and you can use Extended Mag in PvE, or you can use Snapshot for PvP with Sure Shot. It's an excellent role for this gun, and I would recommend picking this one up as well if you have the Legendary Marks to spare. Now the Keystone 1, I'm only mentioning this just because it has Hidden Hand, has perfect balance, and it has lightweight, just to make the gun a little bit easier to maneuver with your side-to-side stepping. But if you don't like these sights, I would not recommend it. The only sight would be the reflex sight. And that's pretty much it, because these two perks here aren't really going to help that much, but the other three perks, plus the sight here, reflex, is what will make this gun really potent. Now we're going to go take a look at the Last Ditch. Now you have rangefinder, you have small bore, and you have hand loaded with the highest range barrel already on it. This will give you max range for the highest impact shotgun. So if you don't already have a Mapador, the Last Ditch right here is the max range you can get. So with that, let's take a look at what the Vanguard Quartermaster has for us this week. And we're here with Ronny, our Vanguard Quartermaster. I do not know if he's going to make it over into D2, but farewell, old friend, if you don't. But let's take a look at what weapons he has for this week. We have the Continental. It does look promising. Comes with Counterbalance, Braced Frame, Appended Magazine, Focus Fire, Close and or Personal, MD Reflex, and Sure Shot. Guys, this is the God roll. This gun can be anything you want it to be. Honestly, I'm going to go a little in depth in this, but you have Counterbalance, makes this gun super easy. Secondly, you're going to get Sure Shot here with increased aim assist, and it does give you a little bit on reload and a little bit on stability. Now next, you have Braced Frame, max stability. It drops your magazine, I think, down to 29 or 30. Very doable for PvP and or PvE. But this is where the interesting part comes in. You have a Appended Mag with Focus Fire. So in PvE, you can get huge amounts of sustained DPS with the increase in damage and the increase in magazine size. That's insane. And if you don't want to do that, you can go Braced Frame and just have this insane, accurate, stable weapon. You also, for PvP, can use Counterbalance, Braced Frame, and Close and or Personal. With that, it's one of those perks where if you're up close and you're just hip firing and you get a couple bullets off, that perk will proc. And if you punch them, they will die. because your fully charged melee does about 125. You shoot 2 bullets, that's 40 damage. You get a 25% bonus damage on top of the melee. You're going up to about 150, 160. So, guys, if this is, I would say, probably the best weapon of the week. Out of all weapons, I would pick this one up. No lie of a joke at all. So, let's take a look at what the other weapons are. We have Angel's Advocate, the Might and Multi-Tool archetype. You have Reactive Reload. You have Hand-Laid Stock, the good stability type instead of Braced Frame. And you have Life Support with MD Reflex and OEG. This is a good weapon. If you want a Might archetype with a little bit of extra bonus, you get the quick little tap and you can kill them. It's a good roll. Next you have How Dare You with Reactive Reload, Rifle Barrel, and Outlaw with Steady Hand IS and Fast Draw IS. Stay with Steady Hand, but you have increased range with the Reactive Reload bonus damage if you can proc this in PvE, which it'll be very easy to do. 10 bullets, Outlaw, very easy. But with Rifle Barrel, you can just spam and do massive amounts of damage once you get it procced. In PvP, it'll be a little bit more difficult, but it can be doable, and it will be a fun gun to use. Now, for the next weapon, we have the Bone Crusher. Now, we have Crowd Control. We have Perfect Balance or Rifle Barrel. These 2 perks aren't good, but I'm only choosing it just because it has the Smart Drift Control. So you can have the increased stability, a little bit of lost impact, but you can either choose between Perfect Balance for more stability or Rifle Barrel with the Crowd Control. For PvE and for PvP, it can make a difference if you're going up against a group of enemies at the same time. So with that, let's take a look at what Future Warcult has for us this week. So we're here with Latchi of the Future Warcult, and I believe that she is coming over to Destiny 2. Hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it would be nice to see a familiar face. So it seems like this week all the vendors are bringing really good rolls for like that final week. I think Bungie did it intentionally, just because to give us a last hoorah before Destiny 2 comes. Because Latchi also has some good weapons. The Whale. Now, remember how I talked about the How Dare You? The Whale would be better off. The only reason why is just because it has a higher stability. You have Reactive Reload, you have Perfect Balance, you can use armor-piercing rounds for increased range, or you can use Quick Draw. You have Steady Hand IS, or you can use Sure Shot. So you have Sure Shot and coupled with armor-piercing rounds with Perfect Balance with Reactive Reload. I think it would be a better all-around weapon to use. Now for the Wolts. You have Counterbalance, you have Perfect Balance, you have Quick Draw with the Reflex, improved Aim Assist, or Steady Hand IS that gives you stability. Again, a really good roll for a fast fire rate pulse rifle with the highest magazine in its archetype of 30. If you need it, pick it up. Now, the Waiting. You have Rangefinder, really good. Perfect Balance, really good. And you have Accelerated Coils. This is a hit or miss. If you are finding that your enemies are tanking 4 bolts and they're being left with a little bit of health, then use Accelerated Coils. If you're noticing that you are able to kill a lot of people with 4 bolts, then just use Lightweight. That is what I would suggest. Now, the Wounded. Good roll again. It always brings a good roll every week, it seems like. Zen Moment, good. Perfect Balance, great. High Caliber Round, awesome. Stagger. And you have a good MD Reflex sight. A good all-around scout rifle. Now, the Warpath this week. You have Cluster Bombs, you have Tripod with Quick Draw, and Soft Launch. This would be good for Axis. The only other perk that's missing is Field Scout right here. But otherwise, if you need this for Axis and you're trying to get something done this week because of the weekly reset, this would be a good DPS for Axis. So, yeah, I hope that we get some good rolls just like we have gotten this week. I am going to take a look at what next week is going to bring us for Destiny 1, just to see if there's any like hidden gems that they say, hey, look, this weapon is out now, and there's all these different weapons that have god roll perks because D2 is out. But I'm just going to take a look, and if there's anything good, I will make a video. If not, then this will be the final video. But with that said, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below. Greatly appreciate it. I would really enjoy getting to talk to anyone who's watching the video. Leave your comments down below, man. Really appreciate it. And subscribe for more Destiny, and now will be Destiny 2 content. Take it easy, Guardians. Shadow out.